What's the average sale price, which the average days on market, what's the list price to sale price, what's the total number of listings? Find it. You guys are going through Kihei, so we'll do that. That's what I would use. You guys can actually use whatever you want to use. I just use InfoSparks because it makes my life easy. And I understand it.
I've always just used it, not ever used InfoSparks. Like, ooh, something new.
Something new. Play. Mess with the numbers.
I love this. It talks about the month supply and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can pull up a lot of info.
Is yours coming up?
No, mine is down.
Mine is being
Oh, your internet's not working?
Uh-uh.
Are you doing the KW Maui 2? KW Maui 2, KW wireless exclamation point with the capital K?
I am now. I was just doing the other one.
Oh, okay. See if that works.
I'm doing KW mowing too, but it's not coming up.
Did yours come up? Cause I know this is connected.
It's not my computer.
I got it.
Okay, yours worked.
I got it.
Good, perfect.
Well, I got that, but the site itself is not coming up. It's like it's thinking. It says clarity.
Okay, so did you go into the Paragon
Yeah,
and you signed in?
yeah.
This one? Is this how you usually go in, or is this how you
No,
usually go in?
I got a bookmark.
Oh, you got a bookmark. Bear with me. You got here, yes?
Nope.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Well, that's,
Hmm.
no, I don't have fields for the kids in school. That always happens when I go up, it just fits right here. I mean, what's the matter with you?
Okay, hold on. So this is you, is this you? Yes, okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. So you wanna go to the you need the main page. This will happen sometimes. It's really weird. I don't know why it does it. It'll take you into. So I want the home page.
Can you just back page it over to the beginning?
No, it's gonna go back to the outside. So, this happens sometimes, and honestly, I don't know how to get into it. Try clicking this. So, this is what it considers a home page. It's so weird, cause I don't know how you get into, wait, it should be, hold on, it should be in the links down here somewhere. It's such a good cost to pay. I don't want to see. Okay, I'm gonna just close this whole thing out. All right, show me how you usually go in. Yes, you found it.
See?
When in
It's
doubt,
probably
let
because
me
of
do
what
it.
you did, it probably said, okay, we want this.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Yay. Love that.
So you can see it.
So definitely get your average sale price and your average days on market, if nothing else. Yeah, figure out this custom.
The average is 880.
Oh, and we should do condos too, that's our price ranges. We should do, let's do condos.
There we go.
676.
I just replaced all of them, cleared it, and then it gave me the option of putting in a dollar amount. That's really only 3 to 301.
We could do,
I have not known this existed, or just haven't
Such a
explored.
fun tool.
I know, I'm like, so easy. 1.7.
almost 1.8.
You know what, I think I have to hit enter.
These
Are you doing 000?
No.
No, it came up. See, it's showing.
There we go, okay.
okay, so.
There we go.
Let's do all-
300 to 400,000. I just didn't want to like the zero. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
go to
a,
average. I know, I'm like, we're not on social media.
820, this is under condos or all properties?
These are all properties. Condo.
So are those other guys gonna be here tonight?
Condo is
Party, do you
118.
need that, is in the leadership class yesterday?
Probably.
Yeah.
that's what I,
And same
Thinking.
thing.
The one guy came to, this is where I'm supposed to be, and I said, no, bring you over there, what's your name? And it was the,
Carl,
yes,
All
the
about
guy,
the same.
like, not
regional director.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hi! I had no idea, but Adam's actually taking his classes at Mega Camp, man,
Oh, cool.
and so that's.
He's a super cool guy.
Yeah,
He was teasing me because we were talking, we were having a conversation
list
about
price to
transparency,
sale.
and there's a TED talk that I love. It's a TED radio hour, it talks about Ray Dalio's transparency, which is like, their company transparency is like, almost like it makes me cringe because it's a little scary. And so I was like somebody could say, I don't like your presentation, Ray. I didn't like your presentation today, Ray. I didn't think you did a good job. And he totally welcomes it. And so he was teasing me the whole time. He's just like,
and that's a good practice, it's good, because not everybody can take that.
he said it weeds people out. It's very interesting. I recommend checking it out because it's
Yeah.
transparency in business. And it's a, and I like a radio hour when they, because then they kind of bring in other
You got it.
conversations. So.
I mean, just being able to accept something and not take it personally, which I have a
Right.
hard time with.
You know, it's
List
interesting
price
because
to
of the way it's, I mean, it's always, it seems like they do it in a very good way, but he's like, I wanna know how I'm showing up. If I didn't show up right today, I need to know that so I can repair that in the company in order. Just brought up a really interesting one. But he's like, I don't wanna know if it was bad. Okay. I mean, he's
That,
totally
remember she
picking
was
the
talking about
pieces
there's a
out.
percentage you can get from the list price and the sale price?
I think that's it right there. Where do you get the list price and sale price percentage? Is that where the, is that the quick,
No, it's back on the other.
Isn't it say 98%?
well, I went to Quick Stats. Okay,
Percentage of this
so we go back to,
price.
Fast Stacks were very good though, right? Let's see what it is there. Okay, we can go back in here.
percentage of list price.
99% Kihei?
I mean, this also
Wow.
tells you how it compares to the previous, you know, whatever.
Oh, that's the median, can you click on that?
The increase in that that 0.1% has to do with the seller's market, for sure, people paying,
Well, remember, that's list price to sale price, so it went up.
yeah.
Okay,
was-
So that's more, that, yeah, you're right, that would affect sales, yeah. That would-
Because of the low inventory, people are like,
Yeah, interesting, it's very interesting right now, cause our market is so interesting. Alright, what'd you guys get? Give me your stats. So, Kihei experts back there. What's the average sales price in Kihei? And are we talking about condos, houses, or everything?
A single family
Yeah,
is $880,
oh, that's the average sales price? Nice, okay.
and, condo is, no, I'm sorry,
Condos 676.
Okay,
all right.
is the average sale price in Kihei?
Right, the single was 1.8, right?
I didn't keep those, I just did condos.
All right, what was the 880? We had 880 on some.
1.8 would be high, I think, for
Yeah, I know,
single-family
but there
homes.
were-
No, the 880 was just all property types.
Okay. And days on the market were basically between 117, 118, like that. Okay, but where's the,
So it's right here.
I got a question, how do I get to average instead of median?
oh, there's a little drop.
Click on average.
Ah, thank you.
and the-
Okay,
and the
so,
average is 97.7%.
so this is Kihei, wait, sorry, hold on. That was not Kihei, I still have my entire MLS. So let's see, Kihei, right?
The single
And we
family
are-
is,
These are condos, so we wanna change this.
single family, 96.6.
So we wanna do single families,
96.6.
so average median price in Kihei,
Or you want average?
and that's a rolling 3 months. So that does affect, see, that changes, right? It's the average for the last 3 months, the last 12 months, or this month, right? This month is only what's sold this month, so that's a really small example. So if I go 12-month rolling,
That's the other thing.
Kihei is average, that's probably where you got your 770 is the median.
So we're
We
upward.
did average.
Average in Kihei, rolling 12 months, 979,820. So notice, all these things will change your stats if you're doing the
Yeah.
years, the months,
Yeah.
like, not the years, but the months, the rolling months will change your stats. Now, let's say I don't like the way this looks. I can do bar graph too.
Prettier,
Do it either way you want.
but you can see that it's upward market.
Do you guys know what the average days on market is right now in Kihei? What'd you get?
Average days on market. For condos, it's 118.
Excellent. Houses?
120.
120. Perfect. So if I have a property, so 120 on houses, right?
Right.
So I have a house in Kihei and you're gonna list it for me. How quickly should I be in escrow?
Within 60 days.
Yeah, I would go a little shorter. Just because you could have as much as a 60-day escrow. So remember, that's the thing, is you don't know if those were 45s, 30s, 60s, 15s. So you don't know the escrow time. So I'd like to see you have an offer on your property within 45 days. See how you can use those numbers? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. What'd you get, Corey?
I got 73 days on market for
70?
Conapoli.
For where?
Conapoli.
Conapoli?
Yes.
73 days on market average. That's not a long time, is it?
Nah,
Ooh, so what
things go
happens
quick.
if
And
somebody's,
that's keeping it all the way through escrow too, isn't it?
yeah, it's average days on market. So, right. Yeah. How could that help you?
That's great, you know, we'll tell people that things go really quick out here, so
Yes.
you need to move, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And how could I help you with a seller?
we could get this thing sold in 2 months.
Right? What if you had a seller who was bugging you on the price and they were 60 days in
They wanted to hold at a price, is that what you're asking?
and you want a price reduction?
Tell them to look at the stats.
Send them the stats.
Yeah.
Be the resource,
The
send them the
numbers don't
stats.
lie.
Yeah, see how important it is to know these things? Alright, we're gonna move into qualifying and scheduling buyers for the consultation. So,
How
Well-
come you got so many bars there?
cause I have entire MLS and Kihei on my stats. I pulled up multiple stats.
And so the years at the bottom.
Cause I like, oh, and then how long it is, so look at this. Check this out, guys.
Oh, yeah, here.
So 3 years, 1 year. So you can change, I can
Oh,
just
so
do
it
this
just
year.
doesn't wipe out the previous one, it keeps the old one? It does, or
What do you mean by wipes it out?
if you change that, if you put in 1 year and then you put in 2 year, it keeps the 1 and 2, or not?
It does. It shows you both.
It tells you.
Yeah,
both.
it's gonna show you whatever you ask it to show you. It's a running stat,
I have a
so it'll show
question.
you what ask, yeah.
So to buy a house or rent it out, you have to live in it for 5 years, right?
Okay, so explain that to me in more detail.
I think for you to buy a house and you wanna rent it out for vacation stuff, you have to,
Ah, see, you didn't
Live-
say that originally.
oh, okay.
Yeah, vacation rental,
For
that is correct.
vacation rental for
That's what I
5
was trying to
years.
get you at.
So
House,
yes.
correct.
What happens if you buy somebody that already has like a vacation rental
Most
property?
of-
Do you get the rights to
No.
rent it out?
Most of those vacation rental properties are actually not transferable. The licenses go with, and we're talking houses, we're
Houses,
not
yeah.
discussing
Yes.
condos.
Right.
Most of the licenses go with the person, not the house.
Uh,
There are a few exceptions, but don't count on those exceptions,
Okay.
please. Alright, where are we? Okay, so find buyers lead generation, where are we? We are
For sharing.
converting buyer leads. Alright, we talked about finding the motivated. We researched our stats, qualify and schedule buyers for the consultation. Okay, so we have a buyer lead sheet. What do we do with the buyer lead sheet? Think about it. What's your first job? Lead generate. What's your secondary job?
Getting the point.
Ask great questions.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna ask them questions, right? We wanna get information on them. That's all a buyer lead sheet is, it's just questions on them. Alright, so if you turn to page 20, so NAR fact. According to the 2014 NAR profile of home buyers and sellers, 2/3 of all buyers interviewed only one agent. So if you can get the appointment for the buyer consultation, you will more than likely get the buyer. Good to know, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, so we wanna qualify the buyer. So isn't it interesting? So look at the things to qualify the buyer on. What are they? Read those to me.
Price.
Yeah,
motivation,
yep,
Location.
wants and needs,
Yeah.
timeline, finances, availability.
yeah,
Are you working with another agent?
yes. Well, so understand that this is,
Yeah.
so this, I use that for the appointment, right? So this to me is the appointment, whereas LP Mama is the before the appointment, right? But I wouldn't do a wants and needs during an LP Mama. I would do it during the appointment, yeah, which is awesome. Alright, so buyer lead sheet, we did an example of one, which is great. Let's talk about rating your buyers. So I know it says A buyer, B buyer, and C buyer. When we're using command, it's gonna be watch, nurture, hot, okay? So, Gabriella, read me what an A buyer is.
A buyer, they are able, ready, and willing to purchase. They will be under contract in a matter of weeks.
Nice.
Where is it?
Page
Page
25.
23.
Corey, read me B buyers.
They're ready and willing but not able right now. Something has to happen first. Get their existing home under contract, wait for their lease to expire, or get the cash from the tax refund, etc.
So something's holding them up, right? So if I were you, I would cross out A, B, and C, and I would write watch, nurture, hot, right? Hot is an A buyer, I said that backwards, hot, nurture, watch, right? Okay, a C buyer. Jessica, what's a C buyer?
C buyer is somebody who wants to buy a house, they just don't know when they're gonna buy a house, it could be a year from now, maybe 2 years from now. So you wanna watch them, but you wanna definitely put them on some kind of campaign and follow up with them.
Notice, she doesn't even have the book.
I know, I noticed that.
There's something holding them back, or they're just in the,
Yeah.
we're just thinking about it stage.
Right. So they have no immediate need, they have a very exacting situation, for example, if they could sell their property for a specific price or get a house on a street they have always loved, right? That's your C's or your watch, exactly. All right, so qualifying financially, pre-qualification and pre-approval. Who knows the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval?
The pre-qualification is just like checking if you're qualified, right? And the pre-approval is you've gone through the whole thing. You have the approval of the lender.
Okay, good, I like the way you put that. Anybody have anything to add? Okay.
Pre-qualifying doesn't go in depth, it's just little skim
Yeah.
the
Right.
finances, and pre-approval
Yes.
means we know who you are.
So generally, a pre-qualification would be like a cursory glance at your financial situation and a slight conversation with you, whereas a pre-approval is a much more in-depth. So if I'm writing an offer, do I want a pre-qual or a pre-approval?
Pre-approval.
Yes, and I don't wanna hold up the offer just because I don't have a pre-approval yet. Although, I will tell you right now, if you write me an offer and you don't have a pre-qual, it's just paper. Doesn't mean a thing. If you are not a cash buyer and you have not spoken to a lender or have a pre-qual from a lender, don't even write me an offer. That being said, I'm cool with you calling me and saying we are in the process of getting our pre-qual. We're gonna be sending you an offer. Do you want me to send it now? Do you want me to wait until I have the pre-qual in hand, just so you know you have an offer? Because that communication will then, what happens if 2 days later somebody else writes me an offer, you think I'm gonna probably get on the phone with you and go, get your butt in gear, cause I have one. Right? So you can get, do you see how that works? Communication, you get that? So here's what I always tell people. We're gonna move you from pre-qualification to pre-approval as quick as we can. That being said, we're gonna know, once we do the pre-qual, what we can start looking at. If we're ready, we're not gonna wait for that pre-approval to write the offer. You need to keep moving that process forward, because once you become pre-approval, you're like a cash buyer. Right?
Right.
Remember that, you're a cash buyer at that point. Because the bank has said, we love you and we wanna loan for you. So, very important. All right, good. Does that clarify that for you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You're up. You're gonna be up. All right, so as Jessica is here, she is going to be sharing with you. I know we're so excited to have her. She's going to be
doing this
doing
already.
her buyer's presentation. So you guys can see the process of somebody who has done it and who is experienced and who has put this in front of many people. How many buyer agreements do you have right now that you're working with? So she has 11 buyer broker agreements signed.
Wow.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So, and I do 100% buyer agency. I need a buyer who's gonna sit on this side. probably.
Someone be her buyer. It's
Oh.
not me.
Actually,
Corey's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
her
probably
buyer.
stand up because I can't reach the clicker from back.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna stand up, and normally I sit down.
You want me to sit right there?
Yeah.
You wanna do it on this
sit,
side?
Like right here,
Right there, sure.
because we're gonna be looking at this. And so while I'm getting ready.
There you go, then you're on the side, the correct side.
Move this.
And she wants you to give her a little blowback, but not too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when.
You know.
Corey.
Corey, hey Corey, just to Keller wins. I am going to give you this VIP questionnaire right now, so if you can fill that out. It just has some important dates on there because we love to have all of our buyers on our VIP list. So just take a moment to fill that out. Would you like some water or coffee?
Coffee.
Okay, great, I'll be right back. Here's your coffee, and I'll be right back in just a minute. So now I'm gonna set up the.
You want me to actually put it up?
No. Okay, so.
Oh, sorry,
That's okay.
I didn't, it should be on the E or the P, yeah, there it is, E to P, we wanna be on P.
So a little bit beforehand too, I've talked to them on the phone already. And depending on where they are on the island, if they're vacationing or if they live here, I'm gonna meet them. That's somewhere where it's gonna be most comfortable for them. So if they live in Wailuku or Kapalui, I'm gonna say, great, I have an office in Kapalui, so I'm gonna meet them there, schedule the conference room there. It could also be somewhere if they're on vacation, at a coffee house or something. So I wanna make it easy for them. So, okay, great, Corey. Thank you for coming in today. So we're gonna go over the home buying process with 9 Times Network. And I'm gonna let you know a little bit about what we do to help you as the buyer. And also find out your needs and wants in the property that you're going to purchase. So we're gonna start here. Just to let you know, I work with all different types of properties: residential, single family homes, condos, new construction, and also vacant land. So depending on what you're looking for, that's what we're gonna go over.
I think you have to hit the space bar, yeah, just bring it up, there we go.
Usually I have this down back. Alright, so I'm gonna talk to you about a salesperson versus a consultant. I am also a consultant because I'm gonna be here to go over the entire process from beginning to end. When we go look at houses, put in offers, and also after the home purchase as well. Also the buyer's market versus a seller's market. Right now on Maui, it is a seller's market because inventory is a little bit low. So with that said, right now the average list price to sales price is about 98%. It might fluctuate just a little bit depending on what area of Maui you're on. And like I said, listing inventory is down about 11% from this time than last year. And when inventory is down, demand goes up, which means that the prices might go up as well. Alright, so we are also going to go into getting you pre-approval for financing if you need a mortgage. And are you paying cash or are you going to be a financing buyer?
I'll be a finance.
Okay, great. I have a great in-house lender that we use all the time. And we do recommend using a local Hawaii lender because they'll know all the Hawaii laws. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what financing does for you in your pre-approval, you get benefits with that. So most likely all the sellers are gonna want a pre-approval, especially when we're going into making an offer. It turns you into a cash buyer because you're ready and able to buy right now. It's gonna save you time. It gives you leverage in a multiple offer situation because like I said, you're ready to buy right now versus if you weren't pre-qualified before we go putting offers in. And it gives you confidence as well too. Alright, so we do offer Keller Mortgage and we do have a lender on the Hawaiian Islands now. So what Keller Mortgage offers is no fees, no processing fees, no lender fees, no origination fees, and it will also give you $1,000 towards a third party at closing. So if that's the route that you want to choose, I can definitely get you in touch with our lender here, and I have a couple that we work with as well too, so you have options on that. Alright, another thing I work with is buyer agency. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, well, buyer agency is that 100% of my buyers work with me and choose buyer agency. That means I'm willing to negotiate on your behalf, and I'll have that loyalty for you to negotiate the offers, view homes, and all of that. If you have any questions, I can get those answered if the seller agrees to that as well. Alright, so some people ask, well, how do you get paid, working with buyers? I don't charge anything for the buyer consultation. I will not charge you to go look at homes or anything at all. The seller pays all of my fees, and it is agreed upon in the multiple listing service, and so that saves you money as well. For sale by owners, so there are homes out there that owners are trying to sell on their own. You've seen those around town, haven't you?
Of course.
Okay, so if you are out driving around and you see a sign in front of someone's house that says for sale by owner, please call me first. If the owner is willing to cooperate with an agent like me, I'm going to be able to schedule appointments for you. First of all, safety is the biggest thing. So I don't want you going into some house that you're not comfortable with or you don't know the person. So we're going to schedule an appointment together and go view the properties together, okay?
Okay.
All right. And they also most of them are willing to work with a real estate agent because they're gonna be working, instead of working with an attorney, they can use our title company at closing. Because attorneys charge by the hour. Alright, so new home builders, we do have a couple of those going on here on the island. Let me know if you're thinking about new home construction, because I'm gonna be able to accompany you to the sales office and view the model homes there. And most of the new builds are requiring that the buyers come in with a real estate agent, so that's an option too. And also the builder pays my fees. You're gonna get representation from me on the buy side, because new construction, they're still working for the builder who is ultimately the seller, okay? Alright, so we're shopping for your home, we're out there, the average buyer, if we're really getting down to your needs and wants specifically, you're gonna look at about 5 homes that fit all of those needs and wants, and then be able to put an offer in pretty quickly, and so it'll go by fast. And the most important thing is I want your feedback on every property that we view. I give that to the selling agent, and they like to hear that feedback, and it also lets me know, if it's something that you really don't like, because we're gonna be able to tweak your needs and wants from that as well, okay?
Okay.
Alright. And so we found the right house on the second try, and we're gonna put an offer in. So we're gonna go over the entire contract together. It's 14 pages, so it's very long, it's a lot of legal. The most important parts will be at the top, and we'll go through that as well. And that we're gonna make sure that you're getting the right property for that. And this contract is a standard form from the state of Hawaii too, so. Alright, we put an offer in, it's been accepted. So now, you wanna put skin in the game, we call it earnest money. It is about a 1 to 2% amount of the sales price. So we're gonna do that through a check or wiring to the title company within 1 to 2 business days. And that will be credited to you back at closing or go towards your down payment at closing as well. So just know that there are some costs up front that you will be paying for. Alright, so next step is going to be the inspection. And this is gonna be for major items. So we're gonna get one of our licensed inspectors to go into the property. They're gonna check everything. It's very thorough. There's several pages in the report. What we wanna do with negotiations, if there's something that needs to be repaired, structurally, plumbing, electrical, foundation, we wanna ask them for the major items to be repaired. There are gonna be some things that are your honey to-do list. Painting is not gonna be one of those things that we ask unless it's just ridiculous. So just keep that in mind when we do the inspection and ask for repairs. Alright, so we've gotten past the inspection part. Now is the time to appraise your property. So whether you are paying cash or whether you're financing, we're still gonna get an appraisal. If you are financing, it's definitely gonna happen. The lender is only gonna lend on what the property is worth. And we don't want you to spend too much money and pay for a property that's not worth it. So that's gonna be paid for upfront too, so consider that in your expenses upfront, and the lender will collect that at the time of the appraisal. Alright, so we've gone through all of the steps right there. Now it's time for loan approval. You have your pre-qualification, your pre-approval. Final loan approval is they went through underwriting, everything's good, nothing came up, you didn't buy a car during this buying process, so don't spend a bunch of money or rack up credit cards. That is not advised. And that means you have full commitment and it's a reason to celebrate. So we have a clear to close. Those are the 3 words we all love to hear. It's clear to close. So basically we're gonna get to title, which is closing. Alright, so everything's paid off. So in the state of Hawaii, you will fund 2 days before recording. So what that means is if you close on December 10th, on December 8th, all of the funding will happen. Your monies will go through the wires into the seller's bank account. In 2 days, the state of Hawaii will record the deed, and then on that time, when I get the phone call from the title company, I'll call you up and say, hey, let's go check out your new house, and I'll give you the keys to that. And if you are off island, I can hold on to the keys. I can also FedEx those keys to you. If you need me to get a locksmith in to change those locks for you, we have a service for that as well, okay? Alright, so just a little bit more. So with 9 Times Network, Adam and myself, you're always working with a specialist. And of course, the benefits with working with a specialist is the knowledge, communication, availability. We're always available. If you have any questions, if there's an emergency, please let me know immediately through this whole process. I want to be able to take care of all the things before it gets out of hand. And so this is Adam and I. Adam is always working with sellers and I'm working with buyers, so it makes us a great team. All right, so our goals is to provide all of those. We want to, the best price for you. We want to save you money with less hassles and in the time frame that you desire. All right, and why work with a Keller Williams Realty agent? Well, you've heard before that we are the #1 real estate company, and we also have one of the best training companies, which keeps me abreast of all the new things happening to help all of our buyers and sellers with real estate. And lastly, we have our own personal thing that we like to do at closing. It's Closings with Aloha, where we give back a percentage of our commission to one of 6 organizations that you choose from, and these are it. So you get to choose one. We'll talk about that in the beginning too. So sometime between now and closing, I'd like you to really think about, an organization that you really feel passionate about that we can help out of those 6. And that's the end. All right, and then I'll go into, we're going to needs and wants right now. So, what area of Maui are you looking for? Purchase.
Wailea.
Wailea. And what about Wailea is it that you like the most?
I love the golf course.
Golf course, so you're a golfer.
Yes.
Okay, and what does your wife do?
She works at the Four Seasons.
Oh, well, that's perfect. It's gonna be very close to home, so drive time will be minimal in that too. Are you thinking about a condo or a single family home in that area?
It's a single family home.
Okay, and why did you want that versus a condo?
Well, we plan to have kids someday.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, so no kids right now.
No kids right now.
Okay, and what about pets? Do you have pets?
Not yet.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay, sounds great. And why are you finally buying a house here on Maui?
Tired of paying rent?
Okay, that is a great reason. So you're gonna start building wealth for yourself now, right?
Exactly.
Perfect. And when are you thinking of, when do you wanna buy? Do you wanna buy this month or next month? What's your time frame?
Well, we're waiting to get our tax refund back, so probably a couple months, 2 to 3 months.
Okay, 2 to 3 months. And you said you're renting. When is your lease up, or are you on a monthly?
We're on a month to month.
Perfect. So there'd be no problem on letting your landlord know?
Correct.
Okay.
1 month's notice.
Okay, and just to, just some advice too, when we do go into a contract situation, we're under contract in escrow. We'll have a, closing date about 45 to 60 days. I would ask, that maybe you hold over a little bit, possibly on your rental, so it'll give you a, smooth transition over, because the closing date is kind of a moving target sometimes.
Couple extra weeks or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to keep on safe side, so you can make the move very easily. And what is your budget for a single family home in Wailea?
Probably anywhere from 1 million to 1.4 million.
1.4, okay. And then we need financing on that. All right, so we're gonna get you in front of our preferred lender, so that's gonna be the next step. Or do you have a lender here on island that you work with?
I don't. Do you know anyone?
I know a few, so what I'm gonna do is I'll provide you a couple options, unless you just want me to go ahead and have my preferred lender reach out to you directly. How would you
I'd like to see the options.
Okay, perfect. All right, so in your Wailea home, how many bedrooms do you want?
3 to 4.
3 to 4, so you want 3 plus
Yeah.
4, and how about how many baths?
2 minimum.
2 minimum. Now what is the square footage that you're thinking?
At least 2,000 square feet.
2,000 square feet, all right. And, let's see, what are your other,
A view
A
would
view.
be ideal.
okay. And when you say ideal, so if it wasn't the best view out there, it would be okay?
Probably.
Okay. And what about garage? Do you need to have a garage?
Garage is not necessary.
Okay, so it's kind of a want.
It'd be great, but it's not necessary.
It's an okay too. All right, so what are some of the wants that you want? Like layout, do you need to have a pool, a hot tub?
I'd like to have all granite countertops.
Okay,
brand new appliances, or new appliances.
Okay.
Let's see. That's about it at the moment that I
Okay.
can think of right off the top of my head.
Alright, well, we have time, so if you think about something, please let me know. And I'll review this in a formal email to you, so you have it in front of you. And so, if it didn't have granite countertops, it's not gonna be a deal breaker.
That is a deal breaker.
That is a deal breaker, okay,
Yeah.
so that is a must-have.
That is a must.
Okay, so we'll move that to the must-have side of that. Alright, well, is there anything else you wanna tell me about what you're looking for?
I think you've covered most of the specs. If I think of anything, I won't hesitate to ask.
Okay, great, so what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna bring up the multiple listing service, and we're gonna look at some of the properties that are available right now in Wailea, in your budget, and some of your needs and wants. It's not gonna be 100% covered as far as your needs and wants, so, we'll go ahead and do that as well. And you said that you wanna be in your home in 2 or 3 months, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the best thing we do is we're gonna start, looking at homes after we get your pre-qualification all set, which won't take long at all, because, like I mentioned, the closing time is gonna be about 45 to 60 days, so that falls into, a couple months. And by the time we find that perfect house, we're gonna wanna go ahead and put an offer in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Perfect. And also, let's see, I think that basically covers all of the needs and wants and everything. And I also wanna go over too that, I wanna make this process 100% customer service, above and beyond. So, from now until the time of closing, if you think of anybody else that might be considering buying a house, selling a house, or investing in real estate, would you keep me top of mind?
Of course.
Okay, great. And to take it to the next level, if you do know somebody who's buying, selling, or investing, could you give me their contact information so there's 100% chance that I can reach out to them and help them?
Yes.
Perfect, I appreciate that. Now, if we get to the closing table and you haven't given me the name of somebody who is looking for, something to buy or sell, I'm gonna assume that our, team didn't do something right, and we'll talk about it. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Alright, so remember in our presentation where we talked about 100% buyer agency? And we talked about that, I'm gonna be loyal to you, in this whole entire process, and I'm gonna be this the only agent that you work with. So we do have a representation agreement saying that, until now is the time we buy a house, you're gonna work with me exclusively. Would that work for you?
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay, now, you're gonna give me a little bit of pushback. I no, I don't really wanna sign something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel comfortable. I'd like to explore my options with other realtors.
Okay, and why is that?
Just, I wanna see who can help me the most.
Okay, well, is there something I might have missed during this presentation that made you feel uncomfortable with working with me?
Not off the top of my head, but it's nice to explore options,
Okay, so you wanna make, another appointment, go through this whole entire process with another person again?
Yeah, I just like to double check my work, triple
Okay.
check sometimes, so.
Alright, well, how about we do this? We'll fill out the agreement form. It's just like if you list your house. Have you owned a house before?
Yes.
Okay, great. And when you sold your house, didn't you sign a listing agreement with that person?
Yes.
Okay, this is kind of like the same thing. You're gonna work with me exclusively, and if there's something that I haven't done right for you, you can break up with me. I just need it in writing, and then after that, if you don't wanna work with me any longer, then we won't work together. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay, great. Well, here it is. I just need your initials and date here, and then on the second page, you don't have to fill any of that stuff out. I have that already. And just print and sign there. Okay, great.
That was
That's
really
it.
smooth.
That
I
was
love
pretty
that.
smooth.
You kind
That
of
was
just
like, okay.
I'm kind of nervous, so usually I'm
Yeah,
not
you
this
did
nervous.
awesome.
That was really good.
Very good job.
That was like, well handled.
But usually I'm a little more, like I'm not this nervous in front
Do
of
you
a
guys have any
buyer.
questions for
Yes, do you
Jessica?
have any questions?
You went through all the options for the types of things that you can buy. If you already know, if they've already told you, I wanna buy a condo in Kihei, do you cut out things or what do you do?
I'm consistent, so I'm gonna go through this, through the
All the
whole thing, because he's not gonna be my only buyer. If he has a referral for me, he's gonna know that I'm an expert at all of these. So, and especially,
Good
even
point.
land, because we've done, a lot of land, and, I don't wanna change it up. you know, hey, you know, sometimes I say, oh, I bought tons of houses. Great, well, this is what I wanna go through here in Hawaii. This is what our team does. I love to present this to each and every person the same way, whether you're a new home buyer or if you bought 20 houses in your life.
Any other questions? It's good.
That's a great point.
Have you ever had anyone refuse to sign this?
Yes, so,
What did they do? What did
go
they
home
say?
and then, well, great. You know, when you're ready to work with me, I understand that you're not ready to commit to one person, because I can only work with a buyer who's gonna work exclusively with me. So, you know, I'm here. If you want to reconsider, you know, that's fine, but until then, we'll just hold off on getting in touch with the lender or viewing houses, because I am fully committed to working with you, and I ask that in return. That's all. So basically, they can go home and then,
Yeah.
you know, I'm the big fat. And you know, I might show them something, but I'm not gonna show them more than one place. If they're not ready to commit to me, why am I gonna spend all my time? Cause it's not just, you know, setting them up on the multiple listing service to view homes online. It's like, I'm going to be going and handpicking stuff. So I'm gonna say, hey, you know, you're gonna get some automatic emails with the listings for sale right now. I'm also gonna go in there every day, you know, handpick properties that really fit your needs and work on your behalf. You know, cause time is money, you know, and I could be working with other buyers. And I know sometimes when you're brand new, it's like, I wanna take everything, But you choose who you work with too. And I also say, well, great, you know, 100%